Hi, welcome to another Blender tutorial from Mark Wilkins, 1027 node basic control basic part 1. And before we get into that, we'll go over here. You can go to www.lulu.com, FWLB, check out /FWLB to check out my tutorials there. You go to www.youtube.com, Mark Wilkins, you can see my tutorials, more tutorials there. My email is felkinsworks@yahoo.com. My email always works, even if my website's down at www.felkinsworks.com. When my site is up, you can see it. But email always works. Some people thought when my site was down, my email didn't work, but it does. All tutorials, property Mark Wilkins and Wilkins Works Company, all rights reserved. And let's take care of that. Okay, this is going to be just a quickie. Last tutorial we were talking about, hue saturation, all that kind of stuff. But this one here, all we want to talk about. Let me turn this off here. Basically, we want to talk about is how to cut. Oh wow, I left the well, I'll start with the grease pencil first. There's a grease pencil you can get. I was just playing with it here, and you can go up here and view grease pencil right there. And with this recorder on, it's hard to grab, but oh my goodness, grab that thing. Well, okay, don't grab that thing. That's the one I want. Right there, right there. Okay, let's lower it out here. Take it out of draw mode. No, I think I'm okay. So anyway, that's the grease pencil, and you can draw stuff like Hulk. I put Hulk, around there, and you can make yourself notes on the screen. It's pretty cool. Say with your Blender file if you want. Anyway, basically this is just the basic thing. We got a bunch of nodes down here you can click on, and now there's picture nodes, material nodes, and these nodes are going to be different. If you go to node, add material, you're going to see a bunch here. Well, actually none there right now because I don't got any material. But anyway, you go over here to here, add nodes, and same kind of thing. Okay, and then the basic node here. Oh, I get it. Well, that's probably maybe why I didn't do it. Maybe I didn't click on use nodes. and basically you're going to have, there you go, all the different kinds of nodes associated with that. There's different ones here. And if I go to that too and use nodes, and of course the ones I had before pop through too, of course. And then here's the same thing, a whole bunch of different ones you can use. Ones I'm using now are these ones here. So, okay, and you can check all these different ones out. Group is for a group that we create ourselves. That'll be later in the future to talk about that. And I'll translate, crop. We'll get into all these difference key, all these different channel keys. And you can just go down and see all the different kinds of things you can do here. Not to mention, sometimes when there'll be other things to select from these nodes, and this is called a noodle. This whole thing here, where they're all connected together. To disconnect, you just use your far left mouse button, drag it across there. It makes it like a knife scene, and then it will disconnect it from there. If you want to connect something, you can grab it, hold it down that same button, just hold it, and you drag it to the image. Sometimes it won't connect up for some reason, like that. See, it didn't connect up, but after you do it a few times, you'll finally notice that it will connect up, and so it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, especially when I have this recorder on. Come on, give me that. I don't know. If I turn the recorder off, it works perfectly, but in fact I'll have to do that and reconnect that. Pause. See, it went across. And then again, if I want to disconnect, you can just draw. Give me my mouse. There we go. Cut it. You can expand or lower these. Now, let me show you. This is a big one that caught me years ago. Oh, it drove me nuts. But if you hit this little plus sign right here on the top of here, it goes like that. And I get that, and I go, how do I connect it to it? What happened to all the buttons on the side? Oh my goodness, couple weeks later I found out, you just gotta hit that button there, and it will, if you have this image node connected here, or here, I'll show you here, this one's connected to here, and I hit the plus sign, it will just the ones that are not being used, it makes them disappear. and the ones being used. So if there's one being used, it'll do that. If none are being used, they'll all disappear. Okay, so this here, it can expand or lower the node. It just they're different depending on what it is. So it'll decrease it from the bottom. There's some little marks on the far side here. Another tutorial, I was like, I couldn't remember how to expand them, but I remember now. There's three little lines. I don't know if you can see them barely on the side. And if you grab it with your mouse and push and drag the mouse and pull it out, they'll expand. They only go so big. They don't go forever. So this is about the biggest that will do. And then if you hit this button here, it will collapse it all the way to that. So, okay, so you have that. And curves, you got some extra controls in here. Basically, you can. Right now, I don't know why my curve is not showing here. I haven't figured that out yet. So if you can imagine a line drawing like this, that's what's there. It's a curve, but I don't know why the actual curve's not there. The old Blender had it, and this one just seems to have these buttons. I don't know what's going on here. If it's an error within Blender. Anyways, if this fill is activated, you saw I just clicked with my left mouse button. It created another draw point. You can grab it, push down, hold down the left mouse button, and move it around. Sometimes it'll create a point. If it doesn't, you hit the control key and push the same button, and it will create one. And then you can move it around, and it will do different things to my face. Let's see, this here. If you want to get rid of some of these points, you highlight the point, and then hit the X. There's 2 points that won't disappear, and that's the beginning and the end. You can't delete those, but everything else you can delete off of there if you don't want them on there, and they'll go bye-bye like that. And this one here is you can tell these little buttons where to go in a 3D space area. So if you knew kind of where you wanted to be on the X axis or the Y or any one of those, you can. And this is on the minimal and the max. So you could say I want it to be near 0.000 and or I don't want it to go above 1, of course. And I think these go -2. So you can place this little dot wherever you want in the 3D space if you know the numbers to that. That's a whole other tutorial to talk about, but it's not too hard. Anyway, reset view just resets everything. Let me get inside here. Vector handles. These things, if you could see them, they have little handles that go across, much like they do in the curve Nimbus or Bezier curve. They have those little handles. That's supposed to be what that is, but I can't see those either. So I don't know why it's doing that, if it's just a bug in this version or what. Auto handle, let's see here. If you hit vector handle, basically it makes it so that it will go in a straight line instead of a flowing curve. It's supposed to go a straight, jagged line. So right now I go to this dot, to this dot, to this dot. If it was a curve, it would bend like that, like a Bezier curve. But because this is not in that mode, well, we can't even see the line anyway. It won't really matter. But anyway. Extend horizontal means that it will extend forever, just like it does if you go to the IPO curve, you'll see you can do that there too. Extend it horizontally or extend it, this way too. And then same thing, it'll extend forever. And then reset curve, of course. And then this just makes you zoom in and zoom out. It's a plus sign to zoom in and zoom into a place so you can get to some of the buttons, some of the curve, some of the points if you needed to, or zoom back out. See, zoomed out in those points. Right now there's supposed to be a line there, but I wish I knew where it went. And this is just RGB, so red, green, blue, and curves. This is all the color curves. I don't know if it's all, but it's a color curve anyway. I think it's all the color curves on that one. I think that's it on that, pretty much. This is a new here, black and a white level. If you hook up this to an imager, you can see the black and the white, from a color photo to a black and white type matte look. That's what it looks like. And I put Hulk on here. That's me, green, and that. I just created that just by clicking on green. It made my face green. Is that cool? So I don't even have that. It's not even painted on my face. It's actually something I just did in the viewer. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that looks pretty authentic. It looks like I painted my face green, and I didn't even do that. I was going to turn it into a Hulk, you know. So in the grease pencil, of course, you know how to use that. If you want to zoom in and zoom out in the mouse, just holding the middle mouse button will zoom in and zoom. The shift key will help you zoom in and zoom out. Go side to side, hold down the mouse key and move side to side. Well, maybe not. It's because this recorder's on. That's why it's not obeying me. It's going slow. So there it goes. See, side to side. Grease pencil, it gives you what kind of layer and everything on it when you use it. And you can zoom in and zoom out. All these features I'm showing you here, you can do right here. So you can click on view. And if you click on the grease pencil, and you can just say draw mode, and then draw, and then you can pick different features about that pencil, and then zoom and zoom out, maximum window, and then there you go. That's as big as it's going to get. Let's see if it gives me it back. So where it was, there it goes. Just select it, takes it back. Select right here is just selecting, linked item. Shift L, select the link item. Shift link from L, if it goes from L, and then deselect all. Border select. Pretty basic. B, and then when you do B, you can just select some of these with a B. Anyway, and then you can add all those, of course, and then. The last thing there is you can show it won't show it because I can't see the curve. You're driving me crazy. And then connect to a viewer, read full sample results if you want, save render results, execute composite, and that automatically pretty much happens anyway, but you can do that. Rename, hide, unhide, edit group, ungroup, make a group, link. Eventually you'll get into some of those features that are later on, and maybe some of them you may never do. You always have to click use nodes in order for this to work. So if you're ever in here and you don't see any nodes at all, you have to click on use nodes, and make sure you do composite so that when you render it, you can see your composite rendering picture of whatever you're doing. And that's it for the basic intro nodes. Yay! All the scariness of nodes. All that black lines when I move, that's just my memory stuff for my computer I need to fix someday. Buy more memory, or a better computer, period. So anyways, that should kind of get you to go and on the basic intro to nodes. And if you want to go to nodes, you go to node editors, where right here is node editors, what I clicked on to put this here. If you do get normally, if you click the node editor like this, and it pops up, a lot of times they'll have a layer node and one other node. You can just delete those. Just click on it, delete them if you're going to do an image node. Okay, so they'll always pop up with a layer node. So you can just delete those and then go down and get your image node. Okay, I think that's it. Hopefully I got it down. Okay, let me go back up here and put my screens up. And close this one down. Close. And put that back down there and say, okay, there's my information you can get to me at, and there's the basic control of the nodes. Should help you out quite a bit. That's not everything about the nodes. It's just kind of give you the basics to goof around. And don't be afraid to go in and click nodes on the nodes. Some won't, some will not. You'll find out that some connections will not work with other connections. So you'll try and it won't work because it's not supposed to. And then other connections will work, and so you have to just kind of play around with that. And eventually I have tutorials on all of it, so in case you want to go through that, you can. Anyway, thank you. Mark Filkins signing off.